one of the topics we hadn't gotten to yet that we really wanted to discuss is the movie Michael. It's, broken box office records, over 900 million for a biopic, which is the highest grossing ever for biopic. And it just hit streaming this week, so I'm sure it's about to break a ton of records there. But there's so much swirl about this movie. People love it. It's so exciting. The music's fantastic. But people are, wanting some of the controversies to be discussed. But you kind of really want to focus on the positive. So I wanted to get your take on, the movie, the storyline, the actors, and then just kind of what was so special about Michael and why he has still having such an impact today.
Yeah, I've got a huge Michael Jackson bias, but I'll try and put that to the side and just talk about this. But just starting with the movie, I think there was an interesting moment in the movie I want to start with where this will probably be around the top of the second act, I think it was, when Jafar, they're at the Encino place and Jafar's sitting in the tub. I'm sorry, not the tub, the pool. Mm-hmm. He's sitting in the pool and he makes a reference that he's he's channeling.
Yeah.
He says, I'm channeling, if I don't channel, God will send he'll send the ideas to Prince. Mm-hmm. It's funny that he mentioned that because Quincy Jones, who worked very closely with Michael Jackson, and especially in particular in those years, mm-hmm. Off the Wall, Thriller, etc. Mm-hmm. Quincy Jones made a similar statement in his documentary when he said he'd stay up late at night because if he didn't, the muses would send the ideas to Mancini.
Oh yeah.
So if you're familiar, for people that are familiar with a creative process, they understand how channeling works and trance and those kind of things work, and that's just how it works. But my opinion of the movie, if that matters, I think this would be the movie out of all the different movies and documentaries that have been made about Michael Jackson and the Jacksons and that are probably going to be made in the future. I think this is the one that Michael would approve of the most. Mm-hmm. Antoine was going after a particular emotional thread in Michael Jackson's life experience, mm-hmm. and a particular chord, and he struck that chord. There's mm-hmm. so many, because you can look at the movie and you can think there's so much left out of the movie. Right. Aside from the court case stuff, I don't want to hear anything about that.
Right.
That's an unfair blemish that should have never been put on his legacy. Mm-hmm. And whether or not we want to accept that, we know this man is innocent.
Right.
So, aside from that horrible chapter in his life, mm-hmm. this movie only addresses a particular emotional chord in Michael Jackson. His connection to the world.
Right.
How he felt about the world and his place in it. And so when you look at it that way, I think that that's what Antoine was going after, because there's so many different things that make up this person, Michael Jackson, from a child to the adult he was at 51 years old when he passed away. There's just so much to him. He's a multifaceted human being.
Yeah, extremely. How do you feel about how they portrayed Joe Jackson and Coleman Domingo's portrayal of, his father and how he was treated?
Listen, Coleman Domingo, and I've always thought Coleman Domingo is an amazing actor.
Oh yeah.
He just seems like he's dedicated to his craft. And if you look at his filmography, every single role, big or small, he shows up bigger than he did in the last role.
Oh yeah, he always seems to be better than the last time at whatever it is he's doing.
And he's always good.
Yeah.
And so, I love Coleman Domingo in this role. And as much as I loved all the other characters that played Joe Jackson, I think that Coleman Domingo left a thumbprint on this, because this was the first time that somebody played Joe Jackson and I got chills.
Right. He was intimidating.
He was menacing. They wanted him to be as menacing. What I don't like is all this bad press that Joe Jackson gets for whooping his kids.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sick of hearing about that. Now, whatever the relationship is between, or was, because he's passed away, whatever the relationship was between Joe Jackson and each one of his individual children, that's a family matter. The public has this idea that they're owed something. And what I mean by that is they feel like the public feels like they're owed insight into your family. They're owed insight into who you are as a person, and they're owed access. And so, and that's not always the case, although you do get celebrities, in the case of Michael Jackson, who tries to capitulate to his fans because he didn't see them as fans. He saw them as family. He saw a spiritual connection between his fans and himself, and that's why they continue to have that reaction to him. But back to Coleman Domingo, man, this was a menacing character. Yeah. And every single time he was on screen, it was a Phantom of the Opera.
Right.
This dude is like Phantom of the Opera. He brought a level he brought a level of terror into this character, to Joe Jackson's character, that had never been done before. And I think, and it's still unfair, if whatever Joe Jackson, however many times he beat those kids' butt, that's between him and his kids. Yeah. That's not between the public and Joe Jackson. It's, to me, I don't want to talk about, villainizing him as a black father. Mm-hmm. He gave the world Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 and the Jacksons. And these are three different entities.
Right.
You have the Jacksons, it's totally separate than the Jackson 5. Mm-hmm. You have Michael Jackson, totally separate than the Jacksons and the Jackson 5. Mm-hmm. All three of these powerhouses come from Joe Jackson.
Right.
Not to mention Janet Jackson, right, who has nothing to do with any of those three entities. Right. She's standalone.
Oh, and I mean, there was a time when she was like the female equivalent of Michael Jackson.
Absolutely. So whatever, if Joe Jackson beat those kids' butt one too many, obviously he beat their butts enough, because he created an entertainment empire. Right. But if he beat their butts one too many times, that's between him and his children. Mm-hmm. As far as the public is concerned, you should be grateful that he gave that talent to the world. Right. Because not only is it his discipline, it's his DNA. Mm-hmm. So I just don't think Joe Jackson gets his flowers.
Right. And I think the thing, too, is it's of its time. It was the 50s. It was the 60s. Like, shoot, I grew up in the 80s. I was, getting whippings, It was,
everybody got their ass whooped, It just the thing, I think this portrayal of Michael Jackson's relationship with his dad, I think it was a really good depiction. Mm-hmm. I do think that there are some things that Joe Jackson should have done differently. Yeah. There are some things I would have liked to see him do differently. Mm-hmm. I do believe there could have been a bullying element to him. I would have liked to see him, not do that. Yeah. Show, even though it's his children, as a parent, is probably going to be harder to show gratitude towards your children because you think that's just a one-way street. Your children should show you gratitude, end of discussion. But sometimes that should be a two-way street.
Right.
That there is times where a parent is supposed to be grateful for that child.
Yeah.
And I think that was the case. I also think there is some times where Michael Jackson could have handled things differently with his father.
Yeah. He was very avoidant at the confrontation when it needed to occur.
Well, I not necessarily that part. I can understand that. To avoid confrontation, if that's, some people, and in Michael Jackson case, his whole, he beat this boy's ass so much that although it did turn him into a powerful entertainer, what it also did is it softened him up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he does have such a soft and gentle touch. But Michael Jackson is known for his work ethic, his level of perfection, his discipline, his focus, his dedication to craft, his mastery of his craft. All these things, this comes from his father.
Yeah.
He just didn't sprout up out the ground. And Joe Jackson picked him out of the garden. Joe Jackson made him with his mom. And so those things come from his dad, come from his parents, that his father was able to cultivate those characteristics and build those characteristics in his son. But I also think that he learned how to not treat people.
Right.
Because he was, as much as he was dedicated to his hard work, his long hours, and to his craft, he always had this gentle, respectful approach to his contemporaries, to the people that worked with him, to the people that worked for him. Right. You can see it reflected even in the documentary "This Is It."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's reflected there how they show it in this movie too, where he's just like, with love. He doesn't want to emulate that bullying nature that he experienced with his father, but he did want to carry forward that work ethic and that dedication and focus to his craft.
What do you think about Jafar's depiction of Michael Jackson? Because there are times where he looks like dead ringer, and when he's not looking dead ringer, he's so close, and he sounds like at movements. Like, how do you think he was able to do that so well?
Without a doubt, I think he channeled his uncle. Here on Leo Canaan, our goal is we go into hermetic principles, occultic principles, natural laws, and things like that. And, we tie that into the regular world. And in this case with Jafar, he channeled his uncle. There's a connection between their birth dates. There's a connection between, I won't go into here, but there's a connection between their birth dates. There's also a connection in their DNA, because this is Jermaine's son. Yeah. So this would be somebody that's very easy for him to channel if he works on the channeling process and he channels that. We don't die.
Right.
Our spirit, our energy is always there, and it's a matter of being able to access it. And so I think we're not only watching this movie, we're not just watching Jafar, we're also able to watch Michael.
Yeah.
I think he was able to, at moments, be, for lack of a better word, to be possessed with his uncle's spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see it. So
that brings me to questions about like Michael himself and his aura. Like it was just huge. And if I remember when he passed away and just like it felt like everything was a bit dimmer, and it still feels like that. I feel like the movie brings it back a little bit, but it just makes you realize how important he was to the world. Like, are you born with an aura like that? Is it something you can build up? Like how does that work?
Yeah, both are true. You are born with an aura, but aura is something that you cultivate and you develop through spiritual practice, through focus, through mastery of craft. And these things is how you develop your aura and your spiritual process, your meditation process, your introspection, your self-reflection, your self-remembering, keeping your spirit clean, keeping your temple clean. These are ways to develop your aura. And a large part of it is your dedication to craft. Because remember, aura functions in relationship to something else. So if a tree falls in the forest, if there's no one around to hear it, does it make a sound? It's the same way if Michael Jackson's on the planet by himself, if there's nobody else on the planet, does he have an aura? You see, there has to be something that's juxtaposed to that aura. There has to be something to feel it in order for it to be real. It's a spiritual experience.
Okay.
The aura is it's an element of your spirit. And so, I mean, scientifically, your heart is electromagnetic engine, and it pulses out a field around you. And this is your aura.
Okay.
It comes from your heart, and it pulses this field out. And along with other spiritual processes, you need a healthy heart to have a strong aura. And so Michael Jackson, obviously had a strong aura. Lots of, there's quite a few celebrities that have powerful auras. Michael Jackson was different. And that's why when he passed, the world was a little dimmer. He was, you remember that movie by Eddie Murphy, The Golden Child?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson was a golden child.
Yeah.
He really was. He was the child of compassion.
Right.
He was the symbol of compassion in the world. And so, when Michael Jackson was taken from the world, there was a measure of compassion that was taken from the world. It's almost corny now to talk about things like healing the world. There's so much wickedness prevailing, bad politics, and all these different things prevailing that, it's almost corny to talk about the things that Michael Jackson loved to talk about. I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Right.
Heal the world, make it a better place for me and you and the entire human race. Like, who says these things anymore?
Yeah, in song.
And you can take a child that's born years after Michael Jackson died. Child is 5, 10 years old, 12 years old now, and they feel Michael Jackson's music just like if he was alive today.
Right. One of the things I can say is like going through Instagram, like when you scroll and you see like little kids everywhere just like learning his dances. Like the dance moves are timeless. The music is timeless, and he's just hitting all over again, and it feels so good to see it.
Oh yeah.
Like I could watch that all day. I thought Nia Long, like this was one of her best roles I've seen her do, playing Katherine Jackson.
Yeah.
Like she just had like such a calm, like caring, like that like otherworldly patience that mothers always wish they had.
Yeah. Yeah, Nia Long, She didn't have a lot of words.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have a lot of dialogue in this line. But what you see in Nia Long's performance in this movie is aura.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, there's got to be something about Antoine that he's able to bring out something in actors that, you know, maybe other directors aren't, can't possibly bring out. I don't know, but there's a moment when he did Training Day with Denzel Washington, and the whole I'm putting cases on all you bitches. King Kong ain't got none of that's in the script.
Right.
He just went into his own, and Antoine just kept rolling. You see, and that's the same thing. I equate Neil Long's performance in Michael to Denzel's performance in Training Day. Now, and they're at polarity to each other because she's playing such a supportive role to Michael Jackson. She's got very few dialogue lines, whereas in Training Day, Denzel is front and center. He's center stage. He's first on the call sheet. And he's got, you know, the lines, the aura, everything is going on. But Nia Long, if you look closely at her in this movie, she's doing the exact same thing with her aura.
Oh yeah, she's pivotal. Like, she just like grounds everything, and like you can tell she's the glue for the family.
Yeah, her performance made that feel more like it was Michael Jackson and less like it was Jafar.
Yeah.
And I think her presence, however she was able to tap into that, I'm sure she spent some time with Miss Jackson. She had to spend some time with her and get to know her, sit down, and they laughed and they talked together and they shared stories about when she was raising the kids and coming up in Indiana. And when Joe was working at the steel mill, she shared a lot with her because it's emanating from Nia Long.
Yeah.
And she's doing it with very few lines.
Oh yeah, it's all just, it's in her eyes, her facial expressions, how she carries herself. It just emanates.
I think, this is probably, and Nia Long she's got some amazing roles. Funny thing is, another unbelievable performance in this movie is Larenz Tate playing Barry Gordy. And, you know, Billy D. Williams played him in the Jackson movie. And, you know, and that's Billy D. Williams. Billy D. Williams is Billy D. Williams. So he kicked ass. But there was something dark and mysterious about the way Larenz Tate brought this to the screen. It was unfucking believable. And again, he had very few lines, but he had that presence. It was an air of mystery to him, an air of apex predator.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? An air of supreme dominance with just very few lines.
Oh yeah, even the little, you could tell like the tension with him and Joe.
Because you're dealing with two apex predators here.
Oh yeah.
Don't get it twisted. These two men need separate circles. You know what I mean? You're talking about the real life version of these guys.
Yeah.
And it's not really seen that way because, you know, as usual, the black male doesn't always get the credit he deserves no matter what arena he's in. So, but you can see it play out in these two personalities. These are two apex predators that gave us Michael Jackson, which is a third apex predator.
Right.
And so Lorenz Tate's role was phenomenal. But the thing is, Lorenz Tate and Neil Long did a movie together years ago. Love Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta check it out.
Oh, I'll have to.
It was like 20 years plus ago. But yeah, Lorenz Tate is trying to court her.
Yeah.
And I think I haven't seen it in probably 20 years, but I think he was a spoken word poet or something. And he's trying to romance her, but she's just as quick and clever as he is. And so there's a song and dance back and forth. He gets the girl, boy meets girl, boy gets girl story. But it was phenomenal. Although they don't have any screen time together in this movie, they were in that movie together. It's kind of good they didn't have screen time in this movie because it would have threw it off.
Yeah.
Because when they're together, they're electric.
Yeah, they're too good in Love Jones that.
Yeah, they're too good in Love Jones. So if you had them a moment in screen time in this movie, the audience would have thought there's something going on between Berry Gordy and
Mrs. Jackson.
Ms. Jackson? What was going on between those two? And no, there's nothing there. That would have just been Neil Long and Lorenz Tate's electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like this movie, it gives me all the feels. It reminds me like how much Michael Jackson meant to everything, how much I love his music, like how much his music is still timeless, like it doesn't age. Like his choreography doesn't age. Like we need more. I feel like we need more.
Yeah, I think, with Jafar, and I know they've got some family issues between Jermaine and Janet, and I would love to see them get all that straightened out because I think this is a huge opportunity for Jafar to open up another chapter for Michael Jackson's legacy.
Yeah.
So obviously not, he's obviously going to do the next movie, but even more than that, I mean, he could tour as Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He could tour as Michael Jackson and he would fill stadiums.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If I don't know, just like off the chain, because we're listening and we're watching him in a contained setting on a movie set.
Yeah.
On a tour stage, you're off the chain. So, but just watching him in the movie, you can tell he took this part of playing his uncle. He took this serious.
Oh yeah, he busted his ass.
Yeah, he didn't play, but I would just love to see him do at least one real tour. I mean, maybe not even a tour, but one real performance as his uncle.
Yeah. Even
if it wasn't a tour.
I think this will get real interesting around Oscar time.
Yeah.
I think we'll see a lot of. I just think we'll see a lot. I think this really deserves a lot of attention for Oscars.
Yeah, I'd love to see him I would love to see him do a complete performance as Michael Jackson, because I think there's something there. I think he's able to channel his uncle, and I think he's able to bring his uncle back to the stage.
That's what the world needs.